This episode of The Chopping Block will feature footage from Big Boo's Revenge. To find out more, check the link in the description. What is up, everybody? This is Axe.
And this is Fiz.
And welcome to The Chopping Block, an original vlog-style series here on my channel, AxeManGaming. And this episode is going to be dedicated entirely to reviewing the recent E3 event, which has concluded. Unlike other episodes of The Chopping Block, this is not going to feature the cutting edge or any additional segments. We are going to spend the whole episode talking about everything that we saw at this event. And there's a lot of stuff, man. It was really, really interesting.
Yeah, and if we don't cover everything, forgive us, okay? Because there was a lot of at E3.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 3 days worth, maybe longer. I think it was for 3 days. I don't even know. I've stayed up, watching all these press conferences, trying to get down all the key points and stuff. But there was a lot, and we're just going to go over the things that stuck out to us on this episode, and hopefully you guys will agree. But I just want to go ahead and say that both Sony and Microsoft brought their A game.
Yeah, big time.
Nintendo, they really dropped the ball by not giving a conference at E3 this year.
Yeah, don't know really what they were thinking, because in the last episode we actually talked about our predictions for E3 and what we were kind of looking forward to, and I think everybody was really thinking about the Nintendo NX, because we've heard rumors of this, and usually when a gaming company talks about a major product throughout the year, they at least debut something about it at E3. Even if they don't say, this is going to be available for retail purchase this year, they give you details about this. They show the development, they show what it's going to be capable of, and I think that by not doing that, they really, really missed a good opportunity.
Right, and they really did. I mean, from my understanding, they have the hardware. They already have the the design for it. I've heard rumors stating that it's already in production and stuff. So if they could have given a press conference, at least showed it off, gave the specs and everything, and just gave us all the goodies about it, and not really, like you said, not officially announce a release date, I think people have been fine with that, because it gives them something to look forward to. Because let's be honest, they really haven't done nothing in this gen. I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to this gen, it's all about Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah, they are the giants, and whereas Nintendo kind of missed an opportunity here, like you said, Sony and Microsoft really brought it to the table, and that's really exciting for gamers, because when you have this sort of competitive nature in the industry, it causes these companies to try to one-up each other all the time, and you're always seeing these new developments, and they're constantly pushing boundaries.
Right, and that's something that you have to do, because you got to think that gives the initiative for Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, you would think, to up the ante and just bring. That's what E3 is for every single year. It's just like, okay, what can you do for us, the fans? What do you bring to the table for us to shell out our money for you? And it's their time to shine. And again, Nintendo dropped the ball. But anyways, to kick off, the press conferences, I'm going to start with Sony. Okay, first off, I have to say it was probably the most unique opening to a press conference I've ever seen in my life, because they had the whole orchestra going and stuff like this, and I mean, it was really awesome. And then, of course, that led into the reveal of the new God of War, a game that's going to be coming out. And I have to say, bravo. I mean, they brought God of War back in a huge way. A lot of people were like, okay, don't give us that over the top view. Make us, go into the game. Make us feel like we are actually Kratos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So they did that with phenomenal fashion. I mean, and of course, this is after everything. If you play God of War 1, 2, and 3, this is the story, I'm assuming, after all that. He has a son, and he's teaching him how to hunt in this demo that they're showing off at E3. And I'm telling you, just the graphics, just everything. I mean, the story, a lot of people were thinking that he's trained his son to take over his place as the God of War. We don't know. They didn't really go into much. They just showed off the gameplay, showed off some new features and stuff like that, and they showed off the amazing visuals, and it looks awesome. Cannot wait for it to come out, man. So that was one big game that they announced, and the other big game, which it seems like we have been waiting an eternity on, is The Last Guardian.
Yes.
Okay, they finally, are releasing that this year. I think it's in September, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, oh well. But anyways, we're getting it this year. Um, and it looks great. I mean, that's one of my top games to have on my wish list, so I cannot wait to play that. And they have this new game. It's called Horizon. And it's pretty. You know what? When I kind of looked at, I mean, it's a gorgeous game, by the way, but it kind of made it feel like it was sort of like Heavy Rainish, not Heavy Rainish, but Heavenly Sword.
Right.
It kind of, the chick, she looked like the girl from Heavenly Sword, but let's just put this is on a broader scale. It's PS4, but I don't know. I'm interested to see what that story's all about. I mean, you got her shooting up machines and stuff like that, riding machines, and we really don't know what the story is. They just showed it off, like, bam, here you go, here's the game, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. It struck my interest, so I'm interested to see more of that.
And that's another thing. Like, I think they really did well. One thing I noticed a lot of in Sony's presentation is they managed to catch a lot of people's interest without revealing too much about the game, because we've seen kind of in the past certain games and things where maybe a little bit overrepresented at these events, and
right.
Yep. and it kind of leads to a letdown. But I think by giving gamers just enough of a showing for these games, I think it's really got a lot of people anticipating, and right. I can't wait to check them out, man.
No, man, it's really good. I mean, like, they gave a little 5-10 minute demo of each, like the God of War and Horizon. So they both look phenomenal. So moving on with, okay, we got, those are some of the big games, but also another game which I'm going to be introducing once I get this out of the way is the hardware that they brought to the table. Sony finally brought this hardware to us. We known it as Project Morpheus. Okay, for the longest time that's what its code name was, but it's now called PlayStation VR. Okay, and the release date for it is October 13th of this year, and it has a $399 price tag on it. But one of the big games that got a huge reaction was coming to PlayStation VR in October is Resident Evil Biohazard. It's a new Resident Evil game, but you're actually playing it in virtual reality. You're actually the character, and they showed the demo off, man, and it was a little teaser, but, man, even just that little bitty teaser, like, oh, man, it gave me chills.
Yeah,
and
man.
I can't wait for it, man. But also, they showed a trailer for Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. They showed a little bit of gameplay of it, where they were in space, doing the whole battle, doing that spiel, and that's releasing on November the 4th of this year. And finally, me and you, Axe, can finally, we agree with this. This was a good move. Naughty Dog, thank you so much. But you're bringing back Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
You're remaking it for PS4, 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you.
And it's like, we have been waiting. Yes, I would have liked to had a new probably installment to the franchise, but maybe that's coming later. I mean, they just now released Uncharted 4. So that's like, what, 6, 7, 8 weeks young right now. So they're not really going to drop too big of a bomb like, well, here's a new game, because they're trying to get their revenue, I guess, for Uncharted 4. That's a big production project for them, so they're wanting to get their monies back for that. But I expect maybe at Gamescom, hopefully they'll give us something else, like maybe a Last of Us 2.
Yeah,
or
that would be crazy.
Or maybe a new Crash Bandicoot. Who knows when Naughty Dog's over? Because Uncharted is officially over. Not unless they continue on with, spoiler alert, okay, Drake's daughter not unless they continue the story with her. So, I don't know, man. Naughty Dog, they could surprise us. But thank you for bringing back Crash Bandicoot. Also, we have Kojima's new game that's coming to PS4.
Yeah, and I think this was something that I think a lot of people were really looking forward to because after what went down, a lot of people were saying because Kojima is one of those figures in the gaming community that a lot of people have the utmost respect for.
Oh God,
And
he got a huge
yeah,
reaction from yeah.
and
But go ahead.
and after what went down and everything, and a lot of people maintaining that he was being treated unfairly, it was really good to see him make the showing that he did at E3.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, he pretty much, Sony they give him the recognition that he deserves.
Yeah,
I mean, with Metal Gear, I mean that franchise alone set so many landmarks. And Konami, they are just I have no idea why they treat him like they did, but it's okay. Sony has him now,
yeah,
and they let him make his game that he's making now. They let him make its debut on the biggest stage. They're really, welcome him home to Sony. So, with that being said, Norman Reedus is going to be in it. So, I think that's his name.
that's Daryl
Anyways,
Dixon for you guys who are huge Walking Dead fans. Hopefully Norman is still around come season 7.
yeah, hopefully, because I don't know, man. I think he got the bat. But
He might have, man.
I don't know, but no, I don't think they killed him off. Anyways, we're getting off topic, but anyways, Norm Reedus is going to be in this, and it's called Death Stranding. Okay, that's the new um Kojima game that's coming out. With Kojima Productions, and I cannot wait. Hopefully they'll show a little bit more. They just showed a teaser. Of I guess Norman Reedus like he had a baby or something. Had a wire attached to it. I don't know, man. That was trippy. I've never really gotten Kojima's like. I never grasped my head around like some of his thought process. I'll put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, he's very eclectic with like a lot of the stuff he creates. Like even a lot of the stuff in Metal Gear at the time was completely off the wall. Like
Yeah.
not just from at the time, a graphical perspective with what it did for the PlayStation back in the day, one of the series that really put that console on the map and, kind of helped Sony grow their line of consoles. But
Hmm.
just a lot of the things he had in his game, the cinematic aspects, the kind of quirky feel with futuristic aspects, and these amazing stories with all these allegories and everything. I'm really really excited to see what he brings to the table because I think in a lot of ways maybe it was a sort of a blessing in disguise because a lot of people were really bitter about it, but obviously Kojima, he's just fine with it. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And no doubt that it's going to make a big impact.
Yeah, no doubt, and he's doing his own thing, and Sony's lending him. He's a
Yeah,
genius. Why not?
yeah,
He's representing their company. Hey, do your thing, man. Take over. That's what they're
absolutely.
doing. But anyways, that's Death Stranding, and another game that kind of stood out to me was the key point that I had to mention. This was Days Gone. Um, it's another one of them zombie thriller games. It's from the makers that made Death Rising.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, Dead Rising, not Death. Dead Rising, and okay, they're making Dead Rising 4 for they're making that, but they want to kind of I guess get a new franchise going. So, but Days Gone, it's another zombie game, but it gives you more of a you're more like up in your seat, like scared out of your mind because there's so many zombies and stuff coming at you, and you have to think of ways of to outrun them. Also there's a good story behind it from what I've been told. So they just showed a little bit of it, probably about a 5 or 10 minute demo. It looks great, looks phenomenal. So that's another game to watch out for. Okay, so with that being said, that wraps up the Sony press conference, the key points that I found that were important about it. So moving on with that, and Microsoft, I have to say, even though I have no problem with both, even though I have a PS4, but I honestly, it makes me want to run out, next month and grab one of these bad boys because they opened up the conference this year with the big boy. I mean, they just like, okay, we're going to go ahead and instead of saving this for last, why don't we just go ahead and put this out there now?
Yeah,
So they
start off with
did.
a bang.
They started off with a bang, and they introduced the new Xbox One S. It comes out next month, and it has a $299 price tag. Now, what do you think about the price, man? That's affordable. That's
Yeah,
affordable.
absolutely.
And to go with that price tag, everybody's going to be getting a killer console, in my personal opinion. I mean, because not only the console itself, it has 4K technology with Blu-ray. It's 40% smaller. Okay, it has a 2 terabyte storage hard drive. Okay, that's going to be coming with. It has an integrated power supply. Thank God. And also, it has HDR gaming capability. It has a new wireless controller with a new textured grip. It has increased range plus Bluetooth technology with it. And for the $299 price tag, on this thing, and it looks great. Shoot, I want one, man. I
Yeah,
want one.
yeah,
The
and
light's holy.
it was a great way to really start off strong because, like you said, I think, like we were talking about, Nintendo kind of didn't reveal a lot of stuff. Sony kind of revealed different things about multiple projects, but Microsoft just starting off with that. I mean, it's huge. That's what E3 is all about, in my opinion. It's kind of huge announcements like this, and especially with it's coming so soon. That's another thing.
Right, right. It's like, okay, they realized, I guess they kind of it's not that Xbox One, is the original one is not a great console, but now the PlayStation 4 it came already compatible, to handle 4K technology and
Right.
stuff like that. So, Xbox One, I heard that, is capable of doing it, but not at the scale that Microsoft wanted it to. They say, you know what, screw that. We're going to go to the drawing board, you know, just revamp, like redo this whole entire thing, and ship it out to people. That way, it can handle 4K. Has the one kicker that did for me is the HDR gaming.
Yeah,
Okay, the
absolutely.
HDR gaming, holy crap! I mean, it's like you already have 4K technology integrated in it, but with the HDR gaming like compatibility with it too, wow, you're getting as close to PC as you possibly can get for a console. I
Yeah.
mean, you're right on the borderline because HDR gaming it allows smoother texture, more in depth. It better frame rate. That's been the kicker for these systems. Well, these consoles is that okay, you're going to release a game that's 1080p or like let's say if they want to go to 4K, which they can because we have 4K technology now, and it gives the developers an able to fork out 4K capable games. So with that being said, you know, with the previous Xbox One and PS4, I'll go ahead and say this: they're struggling. Developers were struggling with producing a 1080p game. It's like, yeah, we can give you the quality, but we're gonna have to drop the frame rate. Now
Right.
with Xbox One, they're kind of a step up because they no longer have to worry about frame rate anymore with
Right.
HDR gaming.
Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds, and that right there is kind of like a gut punch to Sony. Like, okay, what you going to do now?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a huge selling point in and of itself because, like you said, a lot of games struggle at either one point or the other. Either the graphics are lacking a bit, or the frame rate is lacking a bit, and or it gets choppy or it's inconsistent. But with this, I mean, it's really the next step, I think, in
Right.
terms of graphics to kind of integrate the high end graphics with the smooth, constant frame rate that gamers want. It was just a huge thing for Microsoft to debut. Like,
And then they drop the price tag, and then they drop the release date.
yeah,
It's like, holy crap, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, thank you. So,
yeah. Hats off
so
to Microsoft.
yes, hats off. So, with that, people are saying with just that console reveal, that kind of set them over the top. Even though PlayStation had the PlayStation VR, that was awesome. But this is a new console, pretty much. Well, it is. Even though it has the same not pretty much similar hardware to the Xbox One, but plus more, more beefed up, 4K and all that. They're saying that Microsoft kicked Sony's tail just because of this console reveal right there. So I don't know. But anyways, games. We got a lot to talk about with Microsoft because they revealed a crap ton of stuff. So the games, you have Gears of War 4. That's been one of the I think what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, Axe.
It's an iconic franchise.
Yes, iconic. That's the better word for it. This has been pretty much the iconic franchise for Xbox, in my personal opinion. I mean, this was like one of their first exclusives for Xbox, and then they bring it on E3 this year with the Xbox One S running it, and you could see the HDR, gaming, technology like running real time, and wow, it just blew me away. And then plus you get a whole new story and all. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for this game. But anyways, and then they showed off Forza Horizon 3. Now, myself, I'm not a really big game like racer, type of player. I don't really
Right.
like racing games that much. But this was interesting to see because they had the Xbox One S. They had somebody playing on Windows 10, PC. I think two of them were playing on Windows 10, like gaming PCs, and two of them were playing on Xbox Ones. Even though they were in different let me let me see what I'm trying to say. They were playing different levels. All right, but when one player sent an invite to their friends, they can join into their environment, the same like daytime, same environment, everything. You don't have to worry about like going out of the lobby, find a new lobby. They can just jump right into your game, and it's just like you can just continue on from there. That was really cool. And I don't know, man. There's just a lot of good stuff. They said more new vehicles, a lot of extra goodies there. So that's another top franchise for Xbox being exclusive, because Forza has done a phenomenal job in the past. Even if it is a racing,
Yeah,
franchise,
it's one of the
just
most well-known names in that genre.
right, exactly. Because like PlayStation, we have Gran Turismo, so Xbox, Microsoft had to have one of their own, which is Forza. So it really bringing some competition this year to Gran Turismo. So and also we had Recore. That's a new game that's coming out. Recore, it looks pretty cool. It's like you're this chick with a bunch of like you have four robots and they're like your allies and they go into battle with you and stuff like that. They have different abilities. Like one's like a tank, one's like a DPS. Then you have your range. I don't know. It just looked pretty cool. I was just worried about the graphics and the gameplay and stuff like that. So it looks pretty cool. That's coming out. So if you guys want to find out more information, because I know I dropped the ball on that one. I was just fascinated with the robots thing. But anyway, um, go ahead and look up Recore. That looks like a pretty good game. And then Final Fantasy 15, they showed off a demo of that, and that game, holy crap, that game is coming out soon for multi platforms. But they showed it off at E3 this year at Microsoft, and I'm telling you, man, it looks beautiful, beautiful. I'm just blown away. Square Enix, they might take their sweet time on
Yes.
things, but when you see the finished product running, and it's going to be released, I think it's September of this year. The wait was well worth it, to be honest with you. I mean, it really was. I mean, it just looks beautiful. The gameplay looks smooth, and just how they're bringing kind of a new feel to the Final Fantasy environment. I'm really looking forward to that. So, then they showed off Battlefield 1. Okay, Battlefield 1 is, of course, made by EA and DICE. I'm glad that they brought back to World War One, man. I was kind of excited when I heard that they were doing that.
Yeah, there's always an appeal in like those types of games to shaking things up and changing the environment.
Hmm.
changing the setting and everything. It's very easy for a shooting series to become generic, for it to become almost a copy of others in the same genre. But I
Right.
think that by kind of switching back and forth the way they do with different time periods and different settings, they can take the gameplay elements that people like and improve on those, but also introduce them in a way that feels new. You know, not only feels new, but looks better, performs better thanks to the new hardware, and just gives gamers a sense of familiarity with, you know, a series they're fans of, but also gives them a new experience. So it doesn't feel like they're just playing a, you know, an edited version of a previous game in the series.
Exactly. Exactly. So excited to see that game, come out. I think it comes out this October. So anxious to see what EA and DICE have brought to the table with World War One. So moving on from that, we had Minecraft show up, on the big stage at Microsoft, and they were just there to give us. It wasn't a new game or anything like that. It was actually like a kind of an update for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the friendly update, and what that allows is people to, as they're building the realm or level, so to speak, you know. Again, on any platform as far as Xbox One, Windows 10, Android, and iOS, it doesn't matter if you have the game, you can jump right in and help your buddy, like, build and, have fun that way. And also, they're releasing new texture packs to where you can build cities now. And I thought it was pretty cool when I seen that, because instead of zombies, now you have aliens that you're fighting, and it's also like you're dressed up like the Matrix and stuff, like your
Yeah.
allies and stuff like that. We're like Matrix, like Mr. Smith off off the Matrix and stuff. But it looked pretty cool and stuff. So that's interesting. And they said they'll have they'll have more on Minecraft and new things to come at Craftcom or something like that. I think that's what it's called. But so, and they'll have some things coming up here soon on their website or whatever, what they said. But anyways, that's a pretty cool update. Minecraft, we had our joys of sugarcane and a feather and going down mine shaft, with that game. But
Good times.
good times. And if you're an original fan, you know what we're talking about. Yeah, this was our previous series called Downtime with Axe Fizz. But yeah, man, Minecraft, we both love it, and it's cool to see them bringing new stuff, and hopefully, um, possibly maybe a new, no, like a new path, maybe. Like, I don't know what they're going to try to do with Minecraft, but anything is possible. But look forward to seeing that. Um, okay, so some independent games. We have Inside. Um, let's see, Inside and gosh, oh well, I lost my page. Great, awesome. Anyways, we had Inside. That's an independent developer that made Dingo. I don't know if you remember that game or not, Axe. It's kind of like that black and white setting
Right, right.
and stuff game. But anyways, it was a phenomenal game. Well, this is kind of like their newest project and stuff like that. They didn't give really much. They showed like a little teaser trailer, and you look at it and you're like, huh, that looks interesting, but what the crap is it about? So hopefully there'll be released more details on it. Um, Also, the makers of The Witcher 3, Wild Hunts. This game was kind of like a side thing to do when like you were bored. It's called Gwent. You remember that, Axe?
Yeah.
It's a card game that you play on the side.
Yep.
Okay. Well, people love it. They said people loved it so much that really they called when they did, I guess, a survey, or I don't know how they did it. They got data on it and said that people actually spent more time playing Gwent than they did actually the game. So
Which
they
is the
said,
mark of a great side game.
yeah. So it's like, okay, well, this is interesting. Why not bring a Gwent, The Witcher card game? It's a full game dedicated to this card game. So they made it. It's coming out this year. Um, so that's pretty cool. Also, you had Tekken 7, Dead Rising 4, and some new features on Xbox which was really cool, was Xbox Play Anywhere. And this feature is neat because yeah, we're already able to play cross-platform. If you have Xbox One and a PC, you're already able to play cross-platform. But they upped it a little bit with this. If you buy it for Xbox or if you buy it for PC, it doesn't matter which one you buy it for. You don't have to buy it again on, like, let's say if you bought it for Xbox One, you don't have to buy the game again on PC. You buy it once and you get it for both platforms. That's pretty cool. And all of your achievements from each platform transfer over. So, and that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, man, it was a great showing. I think that they both really came in strong, and like you said, it's hard to pick a winner. But I think that the good thing about it is they just showed snippets and samples to the point that it's like people are contemplating now and they're already planning about which games, and how they're going to invest.
Yeah, we'll see who comes out on top because it's gonna be awesome, man. And it's like, these games that we're gonna get spoiled on. Just think, we still have Gamescom and other conferences coming up. You know, probably some more coming out this year, but also next year as well.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be. I mean, from sky's the limit from here on out, guys. I mean,
yeah,
it's awesome.
and we will be there every step of the way, guys. Chatting
Yeah,
up about these conferences, these games coming out. We will be discussing with you guys our thoughts on the upcoming games and these conventions and these events. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Chopping Block. This is Axe,
and this is Fizz.
and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.